we are today with Batman, who is Yoel Levy from the United Kingdom. We are very happy to have you here in Mexico, and we see you already are in the Batman outfit. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, well, firstly, it's such an honor to be here in Mexico. My first ever time in Mexico, and it's been a really lovely experience so far. And I look forward to running on Sunday. So the reason behind the Batman outfit is to remind ourselves and to teach Jews and non-Jews about the Bibas family. The Bibas family were a family affected by the 7th October attacks. And when I learned about this family, growing up, they were big fans of Batman. And the kids would run around in their Batman outfits. They would have pajamas, like sleeping clothes in Batman. And to honor them, I want to run around the world and to run as Batman in remembrance of them, and to try and educate non-Jewish people who may not know about this family about why I run. So that's the meaning and the inspiration behind why I'm wearing this heavy Batman suit.
And tell me, you have three outfits?
So
Batman outfits.
So as you can tell, I'm not a superhero. A suit gets a bit warm, so I have 3 suits, and each race I try and use a new suit, purely because after the race it's kind of, you don't want to be wearing it after the race again, so you get it washed, and every few races I get like a personalized one. So this suit is like tailor-made. So like we have the signs here for Shiri, Kfir and Ariel. On my helmet there's like 3 love hearts dedicated to each one, and then on my cape, not today, but the cape I'll be running in Mexico will have a big butterfly, because they are also a big fans of the butterfly, the animal. So it's another way of symbolizing this family.
And the third one?
So the third suit is just another very plain, just to make sure that just in case I lose one, I've got one just in case. So my suitcase is running shoes and Batman suits. So security, they're probably like, why has he got so many Batman shoes, Batman outfits?
And how did you come with the idea?
So I did the Dead Sea half marathon early this year. So the Dead Sea is like a running event in Israel.
Yes.
And after Dead Sea, I decided to sign up to the Jerusalem Marathon. The Jerusalem Marathon is a famous marathon in Israel. And the day after I signed up to the Jerusalem Marathon, we heard about the Bibas family. We heard about the news about what happened. So I thought, because they were such big fans of Batman, I thought it would be a good way just to show some respect and buy a Batman suit and to run as Batman. And that just kind of, for the first race, Jerusalem, it was just giving back to the people of Israel, trying to make them smile and so on. But then afterwards, I did the London Marathon. So it was 4 weeks afterwards, and that I created a lot of videos, and those videos went viral to millions of people around the world. And it was the first time many non-Jewish people learnt about this family, and I thought I had to continue, because it's an honor to educate someone about this family who has not even heard about them and their story over the last 2 years.
And how did you get to Latin America?
So that was a good question. So before I came to Central America, I ran Toronto and New York marathons. And then just the day before the New York marathon, I bumped into his family from Panama, and they said, there's a Panama marathon in a few weeks. And I was like, no, it's too tired. And I looked at it and I was like, wow, there is Panama, and then there's Costa Rica, and then there's Mexico. So I thought, let me do a little road trip around Central America. And what's quite interesting is the Bibas family have family history in Central America and South America. So there's family in Peru, or previously there's family in Peru and family in Argentina. So for me to educate Central American people about this family, where actually this family has history from, brings a lot of, it's very meaningful.
Oh, because you are a fitness coach.
Yes.
And what is that this story changed your life? How did these stories change your life?
So I started my social media in
Yes.
2019. So I started being a fitness coach in 2019. I got all my qualifications. I named myself the Jewish fitness coach, and I got a bit of backlash from that purely because of trying to be a Jewish content creator. And then I just always wanted
Yes,
to be
the word Jewish sometimes
Jewish.
is not so.
I lost a lot of followers.
So
after
popular.
Yeah. But I said to myself, if one day I can inspire the younger generation, or just make someone a bit more proud to be Jewish.
But younger generation, you are very.
I am younger generation, but there's I'm 26. There's teenagers, and there's parents who are saying, "Yeah, teenagers, they love you." So like, when I was their age, like in my teens, I didn't really have like a. I know I'm a superhero. I'm a human. I know that. I'm wearing a costume right now, but just someone where I have received lovely messages that I've inspired. A lot of parents have messaged me saying I've inspired their teens, and that means a lot. But it's to inspire anyone, young generation, or to anyone in their 70s or 80s, but also to be more proud. And then when the story came out, I think after October 7th, from my friends on social media, everyone's approach was different. Because for me, it wasn't so much about fat loss, it wasn't so much about muscle gain, it was more about mental health, surviving, using exercise as a way of dealing with anxiety. And then when the story came out, firstly it got me running a lot more, because running helped me not just run for purpose, but also helped me mentally and run. So it changed massively about my fitness, like it changed my routine massively, but also reminding myself that fitness isn't just about weight loss or fat loss. It's about stress, and it's about like dealing with mental health and actually running for purposes. And I think that's been a good reminder for myself.
Fitness can be a tool for Jewish identity, and it's wonderful that you thought about it.
Yes, and I think we love our challah over the weekend, so we've got to make sure we are being active and enjoying being mobile, because we've dealt with so much stress throughout all our life, I would say. And I think exercising is just a good way of pausing, getting off your phone for 20 minutes, and just enjoying being present and focusing on your physical and mental health, which is going to make you feel good. So that's why I really try and encourage people to like just be active a bit more, not about being extreme, but just moving your body, because you're going to feel a lot better for doing it.
Of course, and now you are back from one leg of your tour. How was it?
It was a lot of emotion. I've not had like a time. It's just been continuous, you know. I've been very grateful for the love. I think I went to Australia in August, and before Australia, I didn't feel there would be a supportive community outside Israel and America. I just thought, because I've been in Israel, I've been in America, that the Jewish communities are strong there. But when I went to Australia, it changed my mind, because it was like there's so many strong communities around the world. So Australia, New York, Toronto, Panama, Costa Rica, Mexico, like there's so many strong communities, and it makes me feel very proud. So it's been a journey. I've been treated with a lot of love, and I feel very rich with a lot of kindness everyone's given me. But it's an opportunity for them to educate others. I think one thing that's helped massively is I do not speak Spanish. So when I was in Panama, Costa Rica, and when I run in Mexico, there's going to be so many people asking questions about why I'm running, and it's for the people who know in this community to educate them. And that happens so much in Panama and Costa Rica, because my content isn't in Spanish, but then they feel like they've taught someone else. So it's not just about me anymore, these marathons, it's about communities coming together to educate a lot of the non-Jewish people about this story. But also we've had a lot of non-Jewish people support this journey as well, which is really, really, truly special.
And what were the reactions of people like non-Jews? Did you get any hate? Did you get any anti-Semitism?
Only online. So I've not had any in-person hate, very fortunately. I'm very lucky that I've not had that problem. Because I think with running, it isn't, when you do running events, it's inspiring, it's positive for everyone. You've had a lot of negative comments online, which unfortunately is just part of the process, but that just makes me stronger. But I would like to think there's been a lot more positives and a lot more hate, and I just focus on the positives because I don't want to allow myself getting all the hate to me, because then I won't want to stop. But I just double down on like the love we get from social media, from Facebook, TikTok and Instagram, and in person when we do these races, and the joy's been really, really positive. And then it's a lot of like people messaging after the race who are runners who aren't Jewish, and they were very touched and very inspired by the journey, and they aren't Jewish. So very fortunate right now that this will be safe, which has been important, because safety is top priority.
Did your family inspire you to get Jewish values and to do what you do?
Yeah, so I grew up in the UK. In the UK, we have had a lot of anti-Semitism, a lot of challenges.
Where
in Manchester, I was born in London,
Manchester?
but I was raised in Manchester. And wherever I've been, there's been a lot of problems with anti-Semitism. My family have been very connected to our Jewish values, very spiritual, and they've been able to. They gave me a very good flexibility. Like I like the traditions. I love having a Shabbat meal. I love the Jewish foods. I love celebrating the Hagim, the Jewish festivals. But also, like my parents gave me a lot of freedom between like making my own choices for myself. And I've been very grateful with a lovely, supportive family, not just in the Jewish values, but with I like to think they've given me. They taught me a lot of good lessons. And of course, someone I talk about a lot is my sister Hannah. She has Down syndrome, and she's taught me a lot about life and a lot about communication and patience, and a lot of what I've learned from her I kind of hope to give on my social media and try and inspire people in various ways, all inspired by my sister.
Oh, wonderful. And now you are in Kadima, a place where there is people like your sister. Yes. What do you see? What do you feel?
I always feel very grateful when I'm here. So when I used to be younger, I didn't like going to these places because I was like, oh, I've got to help out. And it was a child, like you're a teenager, but then afterwards, even when I was younger, you feel so good. And I learned that actually when you do these type of things, when you give back, you just be present with people, you get so much for yourself. Like people think you're giving back to them, but actually you learn so much about you. So I'm like being around people with Down syndrome or autism or other challenges that aren't always visible. It's very meaningful, and just listen and make them smile. Like I know some of them know that I'm a social media creator, and just to see them smile and happy makes me very happy, because I see this is something that my sister would go to in the UK, and I know how much joy my sister gets by these different places. So the fact that there's an opportunity here in Mexico City for people who are Jewish with disabilities, like it warms my heart, because around the world that's not always possible. And it's not just for the individual, it's for their families. And like sometimes this place here is amazing, not for the individual, it's actually for all their families. It means a lot. So I can feel a lot of love from the staff here to the individual. So I'm very, very grateful to be here right now.
Wonderful. What changes physically and mentally when you run a marathon in a costume with such a symbolic way?
I would say the running part is the easy part. And that sounds weird, but I think for me it's the mental stress beforehand. You've got to think about safety. You're clear you're in a Batman suit, so like you've got to be very safe. But I feel I have a few Tehillim that I say, like some Jewish prayers that helps me feel like grounded in something. I have a lot of support, if that's going to be security or if that's just a lot of support online, so I can remind myself of why I'm doing this. But it's definitely stressful. Like I would love to think it's happy, but at the same time, like it's worth the stress, because I'm educating people about this family, and that's so worth it. But I have to also be realistic that it is tough, and that's why it gets so emotional at the end. And when I post about it, it feels so much, because each race it's not just a race. It's like the week before, it's recovering. So there's a lot of physical, mental effort that goes into one race, but I do it for the community. I do it to educate those who don't know.
And what Jewish prayers do you say?
So I don't know the Tehillim terms, but I'll say the Shema before. I'll put tefillin on before, afterwards. So in Costa Rica, they had Chabad afterwards. We put tefillin on, and I think hopefully in Mexico there'll be people with tefillin on afterwards. And then it's just 3 Tehillim, but I don't know which ones they're called, but I read them in English. And basically, whenever I'm stressed during the race, I will just get my phone and just read it. I'm not the most religious person, but I feel very spiritual when I run. I feel very connected, and it's like I'm not on my phone. So it's like Shabbat. It's like you're switching off, you're able to connect, and I find that very quite a spiritual time when I'm running for such an important cause, but also for myself and like my relationship with Judaism.
Is there an experience that really impressed you after all these marathons and these races?
There's definitely 2 stories that have really like touched my heart. After the London Marathon, this was the second marathon I did after Jerusalem. It was 10 p.m. at night, and I got a message from Yoel Levy, who is the father of Kfir y Ariel, and he was just very grateful for what I did, and his family were very meaningful. And I actually went to see them in July in Israel, and I met Yoel and I met his mother. We had a lovely conversation for 3 hours and just spoke about life. It was very touching and meaningful. And
what did Yoel Levy tell you?
He was just very proud of me to run it for his family. He was very inspired, and that was really it. And it was just his family are very grateful for me to share their story. And I've always wanted to be like, my main goal is being very respectful towards the family. And I'm not the spokesperson for the family. I always want to respect their privacy, and I always want to make sure that whatever I do, it's an honour to respect them respectfully. And the second meaningful thing that comes to my mind is in Sydney, we did the Sydney Marathon. There was some security for Sydney Marathon, and there was one time near the end of the race that someone was looking at me. I was running, I was like near the end, and someone was looking at me from like 20 meters in front of me, and I'm a bit nervous because someone looks at you and they like look at you for a while. I'm like, hey, am I in like trouble here? Like, it's a situation. But he came slowly towards me, and I'm like getting very, very nervous. But all he said was, I'm not Jewish, I'm a huge fan of what you did. I learned about this story in London, and I was so happy that you came to Sydney, his hometown, to run. So he was very, very kind, and this was from a non-Jewish person. So those 2 things have been like real highlights from like just knowing that it's a good thing, and the good things are happening from this. And of course it's such a sad story, but I hope to be a light in a dark time, and just try to do my best.
Wow. In the context of rising anti-Semitism, do you believe that visible actions like yours help humanize the story? That sometimes the stories that sometimes are lost in the media headlines?
100%. I like to think that. I think we're in a new stage of this social media war, this political war. I'm always said from the start that I'm not going to debate, so I'm not going to be someone posting on the news. I just talk about what I know and what I'm good at. And I think showing up visibly as a proud Jew, running as Batman and running as like just for a family means a lot, because I'm just talking about 2 individuals. Like I try to take away Jewish and I take away Israel, and I just talk about these are family that have been impacted and they've done nothing wrong. And we've had people who may not have been the biggest Israel supporters, but they felt connected to the story. And I think that's what's been quite really meaningful, is that. So I like to think over time we're going to be doing more things where we're just talking about victims, but not giving any labels, just talk about who they are, because they're human like anyone else. And I think people will listen. And I know, and it's proven, that there are thousands, I don't know, it could be millions of people who've learned about the story, and I've just said who they are. I've not put any title on this family. They're just 2 kids who didn't get a chance to grow up. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. No matter what political opinion they have, they just talk about who they are, and they're humans. So, yeah.
As someone with a global reach, do you feel a special responsibility when speaking about Israel, the victims, and the contemporary Jewish experience?
Yeah, I think one, it's always about being respectful. Like I love Israel. I spend a lot of time in Israel, but I'm fully aware that I've not had to go through what Israelis had to go through. I'm very, very lucky that I've not had any family who lost their life. I only know people with their family. So I understand that it's all my experience, and I'm totally aware that there's better people to talk about this stuff, and I keep to myself in that, and I want to understand that I'm not the spokesperson. But I do think I have a responsibility to share my knowledge and to share what my thoughts are, because there's a few people who still don't know. A lot of people in my audience who weren't Jewish have learned about it, but I do it in a way that's respectful. And everything I do, I'm trying to be ethically respectful towards any victims' families, and so yeah, I think there's a responsibility, but I think we always need to post, no matter what content creator, thinking about the last few years, and actually I'm very grateful to be able to do this right now, and I'm mentally, physically strong. There's a lot of people over the last 2 years in Israel where they would love to probably do things to create memories with their friends, but mentally right now they're not ready. So I always think about how lucky and grateful I'm not had to go through that, but it's also my responsibility to educate, because 80 years ago there was a Holocaust. There's people today who are denying the Holocaust. It's only a matter of time that people are going to deny about what happened on October 7th. So I think it's our responsibility now to educate as many people so that we can reduce any chances of people saying October 7th wasn't a thing. I have clients from Israel, friends from Israel, who are like, I went to spin class today, I went to a hip class, and I was like, how are you doing that when you're so like, it must be so stressful for you? And they're like, that's the one thing they can control. That health is the one thing we can control. There's a lot of things we can't control in life, but our body and our mind are things we can control. And I think having that, you can focus on your body. And when I go to these talks, I get a lot of rabbis saying that, yes, it's right, I need to, there's definitely some Torah stuff that I don't know yet, but they always say there's a big correlation between the importance of being physically and mentally strong. And I hope that I'm able to inspire people to take on their fitness journeys so that they can take on their physical and mental health. But I think there is a big importance of just taking care of your body. But it's not about flipping your life upside down, it's about making small manageable steps that helps you slowly feel better physically and mentally.
What would you advise our audience like to do to be physically and mentally healthy?
So I think
maybe 3 or 5 things.
The number one important thing is walking. I think walking for me is, with all my friends, all my clients, my family, the one thing correlation between like them feeling fitter and healthier is just walking more. And it's prioritizing walking more. There's so many health benefits from it. Not just the mental health, but gut health, physical health. There are so many benefits. But not just that, you're off your phone 20 minutes, or you're going for a walk with a friend or family you're not connected to for a while. So there's so many benefits from walking. The other thing I would say is, over time, trying to do some sort of resistance training. Now that's not like going to the gym and lifting really heavy. It could literally be some squats, some press-ups, something realistic. Because I think as we all get older,
with small dumbbells.
We need any small dumbbells. I think it's important to have some good bone density and muscle mass, so that when you get older, you're able to be more mobile with your future kids or grandkids, and I think that's really important. And again, that's not about going to the gym and lifting really heavy weights. It could be light dumbbells, or it could literally be body weight, or it could be low impact stuff like holding onto a chair. There's movement for everyone, no matter the challenges, the physical challenges you have. And then I would also say plenty of challah, of course, challah in moderation, the Jewish food. I would say also protein. I think protein is again important. It's not like you have to have a bodybuilder. It's protein. It's about how can we have more protein into our diet. That's going to help massively with health and just muscle mass and just making sure our body is healthy. Help us feel more full, so we snack less, which is a good challenge for everyone. I think those 3 things are the core components, but I also think I've done a recent challenge with a few of my clients, and it's about other non-fitness things, like maybe calling a friend or family you've not spoken to for a while. And I think when I challenged my clients on that, it was really nice feedback, because they were speaking to friends they've not spoken to. I think life's too short to have disagreements, or life's too short to have to not call a friend you used to be really close with. So I think that's quite nice, especially now when we're so much on our phones and we're so sometimes it can feel isolating in the world. I think trying to rebuild some friendships you maybe haven't spoken to for 10, 20 years can also be very meaningful for the physical mental health.
And do you have a girlfriend? And what does she think of
I know. I'm single right now. I'm single. I'm
Okay,
crazy.
okay.
I am looking for a wife, and but yeah. So there's.
What do you need her to be?
Wonder Woman. No, I think for me,
You deserve it.
I'm very grateful, but I think it's obviously realistically, it's always quite challenging. I'm traveling a lot right now,
Yes.
and as much as I would love to settle down and do the thing, it's great for me, but it's also the other person, the wife. The next 2 years, it's a lot of moving
Let's
around.
tell the Mexican.
Yeah. Well, if you want, I'll be very happy moving to where my wife lives. So maybe I'll be in Mexico online. But I can't make any promises.
Wonderful. How would you like this project, the Jewish Witness Ghost, to be remembered in the future?
I think living life with kindness. I think a lot of my content can be about fitness, but it's also a lot about dealing with anti-Semitism with kindness. Look with my sister with Down syndrome, being kind. And I like to think people look for my content and be like, just when you receive a negative message or when you see something negative in the world, to not react with negativity and try and be grateful and try and be more kind. So I think be more kind to other people, and I always talk about how grateful I am. I try and express all the time that we live in a world right now where we always want the next best thing. When I've travelled to all these places over the last 6 months, it just reminds me how grateful I am to have water, to have a close family, all these things, and I kind of talk about it on my social media. So even though like I'm the Jewish Witness coach, where it's like fitness, but actually I think being kind and being grateful, if people can, in years to come, like actually I was inspired to be more grateful due to Yoel, Jewish Witness coach, for me that feels very rewarding.
You didn't get angry in those 2 years of war?
Yeah, I did, and I have my own thoughts, and I think that's totally fine being angry. But I think my anger, I like to keep to myself. And I think me expressing my anger on social media, or my anger to someone who's telling me negative, is not going to solve this challenge. And I think when I've spoken to people who've been impacted by the war, they are also very much like, their mindset is very much like, not, everyone's very different, and I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone, but I think they're very much like just grateful, and they must have a lot of anger, I'm sure, but they don't express that. And I think for me, I want to be a figure where I have my anger, but I keep it to myself. I have my own beliefs, but I don't want to express that on social media, because I don't think that's going to help me give peace and make peace with someone over down the line. I like to think one day that someone who may actually dislike Israel will come to me and chat to me, and how we can have a mutual conversation and see how we can work together in the world in the future, because we have to live together. And I've never ever said on my social media anything negative about any political side. And even though I have my own beliefs, I like to think one day that we can work things out. Even with it, obviously there's a lot of things that need to be sorted, but I want to have that mindset, because I want to live in a world where my grandkids or kids can live with their neighbours without anyone wanting to destroy each other. I hope that one day can happen. But yeah, so that's why I get angry, but I leave the anger out, I get my steps in, I run miles, and on social media I try and be the most respectful person. It's not always possible, and my content is not always positive, because we're not in a. There's sad things happening, and I express that, and I try and keep it as positive as possible.
What have you thought of your visit in Mexico so far?
I like it. Great food, great coffee shop as well. I was really happy with the coffee. It's very important. Coffee. I think it's really kind. I'm currently in Planco, and it's very easy to walk around. Everyone so far has been very, very kind. Like even when I don't speak Spanish, like it's very, people help me if I need help. And the community here has been really kind. I know over the next week I'll be meeting a lot more of the community, so it's been lovely to experience the community here. I'm looking forward to meeting many more people over the next week.
What are you taking away from that experience?
Yeah, I would say, especially being here in a place where people with disabilities, a lot of kindness. I think taking away, I've got now 2 Mexico flags, which I'm very excited for, to take back to the UK. But I think it's just continuing the mission. You know, I know it sounds quite cliche, but every place I go to, it gives me motivation, because it's very tough and tiring to run, and there's the mental stress, there's the physical stress of running a race. But when I see how I hope to inspire people, when I get messages that have inspired them, it gives me fuel to continue this journey. But I was meant to stop a few months ago. I was never meant to continue this for 2 years. But each city I go to, the community gives me so much love that reminds me that other communities should feel the same and give them opportunity. So I'm sure over this time in Mexico, I'll be so excited and looking forward to connecting to the next community. And I think hopefully it's kind of bring the communities worldwide together and to remind ourselves of a family that deserves to be remembered.
Thank you so much.
Gracias. Thank you.